get started. Yeah. Hello, everyone. My all respected to judges, my mentor and teacher William, and everyone for being here. Thank you so much for being here because your presence means a lot to me. Today, I come here for a reason, and my reason is that to share you a very important thing. Last January 2021, I went to a trip with my colleges to the place where we call remote area. At that time, we expected that we will get a lot of fun and the relaxation. But unfortunately, something unexpected happened. On the way back home, I could see a very small school with a broken roof, and I could notice that it was hardly to protect the children from getting wet if there is rain. And after a few questions to the local living there, I could know that people there living in hardship, shortage of clean water, and they could not live well. Due to this reason, I immediately started to worry about the children there's future in terms of their education and opportunity. And just recently, at 9 p.m. after I finished my school and I went back home, I could see a grandmother who was sitting at the stop of the traffic light, sitting there and selling her vegetable. And at that time, I was emotional and I could only imagine that what if she is my mother and what if she is my biological grandmother. So we don't want to see our loved one suffered from being hunger, and we don't want to see our loved one suffered from working overtime as a very old age, right? So by seeing all of this, I started imagining that some people were living in hardship beyond my expectation. But also, we can know that some people in Cambodia were living in extremely healthy and wealthy life. Some people even able to send their children to pursue the education abroad, and that is good. By seeing the very big differences between the poor and the rich, the poor getting poorer and the rich getting richer, I started to feel very interested with this topic, and I could not wait to share with you. Today's topic is the wealth inequality. Do you know why people is being so poor? Cambodia is one of the poorest country in Southeast Asia. I come up with 3 reasons why Cambodia is being this poor. One, I believe that everybody is still keeping it in mind that Cambodians suffered from the war in the year of 1975 until 1979. At that time, 2 million people were killed. Educated people were executed. Some people are died because of starving. Some people are died because of diseases or because of overwork. And although the war ended in 1979, the remaining people still living in difficulty, and even now. And also, one more reason, if we just go a little further to the past, when the President of the United States authorized the secret bombing to Cambodia, it was when there was war with the North Vietnamese and America, and because of the American people believed that the North Vietnamese was using the Cambodian bordering, transporting the troops and supplies to the South Vietnamese. So they decided to bomb the border of Cambodia. And the result of that, for the result of believing like that, 100,000 people were killed by the bomb, and the other 2 million people lost their house. Just by these 2 stories, it stands to reason that Cambodians suffering a very pain history. So this is one of the biggest reasons why Cambodia is poor. The other reason is that because of the repetition of poor generation, the poor people remain poorer, and the rich people keep getting richer. For example, I come from an average income family, and I could share you a little bit how hard the poor people were living in my area. They tend to give up their education very easily, everyone, and start a family or go to find a work. Because I understand, because being poor just to fulfill your stomach is the priority. So going to school is not it's not a good option. So I understand. By this reason, because of the lack of education, they keep following the same path of their old generation. So there is no revolution in the family. And the last reason is that because 85% of Cambodian people relying on agriculture, and we don't earn much for that. So in terms of their financial situation, they still remain poor. So I believe that I believe that our government and a lot of NGOs out there were trying their best to solve this problem. Since Cambodia is the poorest country in Southeast Asia, so to solve this problem is not a good. It's not an easy task to do. So government alone, NGO alone couldn't be completed. So as individual, I believe that we all can contribute to this matter. So I'd like to share you a little personal about me, and I hope that it's worth sharing, and it will be a little inspiring to some of you as well. Despite from being a full-time worker, a college student, I could barely have a free time at the weekend. But instead, despite all the fact that I was very busy, I still managed my time to spend my Saturday and Sunday evening to volunteer as an English teacher, because I believe that my little action to the people living in my communities could change at least one people's entire life. Because I used to be changed, I used to be shaped by some people, and I believe that by giving them education, by paving the way or showing what is good, I think we will change the world, and it starts from our community. And in my conclusions, I believe that in order to reduce the gap between the rich and the poor, it all starts from us. So education, be honest, and sharing is the key. So don't forget to share what you have to others, because you all are very fortunate to be here, listen and understand the speaker's speech, and you are considered as fortunate than those who I was just mentioning. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sreysao. Yes. Okay. So